Hello everyone, welcome back to the soul-crushing game that is Katawa Shoujo. Uh, it's been like a couple days since I did a video, so right after doing all of Emmy's route, the feels didn't hit right away. But then as I was walking after, recording episode 14 and episode 15, right? I decided to go on a walk for a bit. Like I was going to record a few videos after that. But then I was thinking over what I just read, and I was damn man, just I was thinking a lot of my past and stuff like that. So yeah, I just didn't record after that, and I didn't record the day after, and I didn't record on Father's Day. So here I am back on Monday, ready to continue this. Let's load. Let's see. Yeah, it's not morning run. Exercise. This one. Let's take it easy for now. Let's see. I let Emmy go with her own pace, and she doesn't show mercy, pulling half a lap ahead of me in an instant. I don't blame her. I mean, it's not as if I'm really putting up any sort of real fight out here, is it? Instead, I'm just running at a steady pace, which is what I should be doing, right? There's no need to go pushing my limits at this stage of the game. God, is it even worth it? As we finish the second lap, I break off again. Emmy keeps going, and it almost seems to me that she's disappointed. Well, that's stupid. I don't have anything to prove to her, come to think of it. I've got nothing to prove to myself either. I'm just fine the way I am. And what I'm not is a runner. Look, Kazao, Kazao, come on, man, come on. Right? Honestly, if I was put into a situation like this, I think I would end up with... I would probably end up, pushing myself way too much. Which is also why I got the Emmy route first, because it's something that I probably actually do. So, this was probably a bad idea. Maybe there's something else I can do instead of this. Getting up this early sucks anyway. There's gotta be some other way to keep healthy. Walking, maybe? Nice afternoon walks? Well, I mean, here's the thing about walking. You would have to do a lot of it in order to get the same amount of health benefits as running. Yeah, that sounds good. Running isn't for me. I wave to Emmy and head back to my room. I'll think of something else later. Back in my room, the first thing I see is the familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser. And it makes me depressed, as usual. It's annoying. I thought it was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing and gotten over it. But what I really did? I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here really reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it just hurts. Reflecting on it is only going to do so much. I've done this before, for months. It seems like it's the time to get over it. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it is a life in progress. That is how I'll rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class early, as usual. As I step into the hallway, I notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner, stealthily making his way over to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me soundlessly, like a ninja hiding in plain sight, I call out to him. Hey. He jumps at the sound of my voice. Oh, hey, man. I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired. I think it's more like you didn't see me. But that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping? Nah, it wasn't shopping. Sometimes I had to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to figure out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want. So then, what's in the bag? I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue to fight against a vast feminist conspiracy. Okay. I thought you didn't go outside. I wear a hat now. I decide to not point out that he is not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly and releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and closes the door. I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent. I never study. Oh. I just wanted to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know, so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on the crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it. And why do you have to go out? When can you get it on your phone? I don't carry a phone. What do you mean you don't carry a phone? You mean you just leave it at home? Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones. I have no phone. Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone? I mean, it's pretty... So yeah, apparently, this game actually takes place in 2009. So it would make more sense for people back then to not carry phones around everywhere, because they didn't usually do that until, I'm thinking, the 2010s. Right? So it's out being like, how could you not have a phone in this day and age? It's 2009, man. Whatever. I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. And besides, Kenji is a pretty conspiratorial guy. Like, he would definitely know about, like, you know, the phones watching everybody. Like I have my phone right next to me right now, like, charging, and it's probably recording everything I'm saying so that the government can continue to spy on me. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it. Is this after the age of brick phones? I think so. Beaten in the head? Well, where else could I get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it? The ass? Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens his door again and prepares to head inside. Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one. Class is going to start in like 20 minutes. I already did something today. Too tired to go to school. Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought 2 because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries. Thanks, but no thanks. Whatever, man. He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come to morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by their faces by now, though the names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I've even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Mutuo finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. Wait a second. Skip. Okay, this is new. Hazao! I'm going to make you a one-time only, super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes, and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties. Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hallway, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as though as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing out her chest and making the V for victory sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited? You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company. That is probably the most depressing reason imaginable. So how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria food all alone otherwise. I'm kidding. Sure, I'll have your lunch offer. With pleasure. Let's go to the roof. On the roof! The roof? Why the roof? Because that's where we eat lunch. And if we don't get up there, she'll probably wander off, and I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself. Who will? Come with me. Without answering my question, or waiting for a response, she grabs me by the arm and drags me through the hallways. I attempt to make conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily. Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in a run at lunch and forgot to eat it. Huh? The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps, beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark, strange... Actually, hold on. So yeah, a lot of this is going to be repeats of scenes. Okay, I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try to stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. Okay, this is new. After passing through and rounding the corner, though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. Hazao? Yep, it's me. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening. What brings you here? Once again, she gives a small polite bow. And once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't to do so. Just going into town? You? My, what a coincidence. Doing the same thing, eh? I usually go shopping on Fridays? She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes to town with me. Not lost, but worried. The two do seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. Avid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remain silent as we quickly continue to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. With the road bereft of cars and students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us, the quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and you've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment, I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess. Yamiku's kind of different though. I mean, formality surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it though, in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one can see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. Well, that's a good take on it. Well, I guess that's a good take on it. Walking on down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So, where in town are you going? That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with the sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions. Again. I was going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well now, this is quite lucky. I was about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care then. Again, then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here, it takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small shack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane, sliding it through the basket's handles, before picking it up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform with her slender fingers. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it's out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store, with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for, and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday? Right. All that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? No, this should be everything. Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we're both paid for our food and are out the door. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I waste a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds my breath, but the summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. As we walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Rin? What are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin Tezuka. I think that was her last name, from our school. She stifles at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Well, yeah, that's right. I guess someone that kind of relies on everything except for sight would not have that good of a relationship with someone as confusing as Rin. I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to lighten her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello? There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked that just before. I assume they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked, and that's why I'm wondering. So it's pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. They were going that way. She turns, facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think that both of us are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't face Rin at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of the blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think it's that. The other passerbys were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost. The way you're standing in the middle of the street. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some kind of other pose in that case. I ponder for a while whether I should chase this angle further, or give up for the sake of my own sanity. I decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time, it's better to not read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer, who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn. Just like Kenji said, even when I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Yamaku? Hold on. Am I going into a very specific direction? I'm not going to say it right now. I push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Look, all I'm gonna say is in that 2026, dating is a fucking nightmare. Like, if you're a guy watching this, just know that, basically just go your own way, and 2D is better than 3D. Okay. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. That sounds like progress, at least. Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there is some, definitely, the rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are, but it's late, and I don't think we'll be getting any thanks if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me, trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery, several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But that can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Rin is exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere? Not going back to the school? Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock, and she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique. I mean, yeah, the ability to read minds, I'm guessing, would cause some mental damage, because I'm going to be completely honest, if anyone were to read my mind, they would be absolutely baffled about what goes on my head daily. Anyways. No, why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. It was just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before. Yawn, Jesus Christ. Just to get to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh. She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I am about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did? For everyone's sake, I decide to let the mind-reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk, her arrhythmic way looking like a mix of a sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that, a few fragmented beginnings of conversation. It's quiet. A quiet quite apart from the relaxing one into town at that. So how's the mural doing? We're gonna get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Bad luck. What on earth is going on back there? I'm sorry if you hear that. Tap step, tap step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top of is surprisingly steep, going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Almost there. I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright? What do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just... you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. Oh boy. Lily noticed it all too quickly. Okay, this might be a route. Might be, because now that I'm back at the prologue, so I'm gonna create a new save. Okay. Sorry, I'm not in very good condition. Or I don't really want to talk about it. You know what? Sorry. I'm not in very good condition. It's alright. I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh. Is it something that is related to you being transferred here, I mean? She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so I naturally thought... Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty, I guess, the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago because of it, and spent most of the spring in a hospital. Ended up in Yamaku on doctor's orders. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer, though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I have the exact same reaction. While I do want to assuage her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuredly, but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorm, Rin stops in front of her mural, as if lightning struck her. She had been so quiet for almost all of the walk back that I had all but forgotten she was here. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go in a fetal position and throw up. Probably in reverse order. Is something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. It's Friday, and nothing is wrong yet. This mural, it's gonna be finished by Sunday, so everything's alright. Do you have any drugs or a time machine? It's not good. Not good. She's so behind her schedule. Recalling Shizune's exasperation at Ren's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she could pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look with me as I roll my eyes, but then I realize she's not one to do that kind of thing. Leave me. We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There is a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people feel worried about her. I think Rin might be like out of the running in this save file. I don't know. Let's just continue. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone? She sounded like she was going into shock or something. I'm sure she will be just fine. She's just, how to say... Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion, melodiously nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight, apologetic smile, as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings had prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her, at all. Lily lets slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine she's as exhausted by all this as I am. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Izal. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels very different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. Relaxed, I'd say. But that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah, good night. Say hi to Hanako for me. I will. Good night. Good morrow. Okay. Not sure where the hell that came from, but... I don't know, maybe I should continue until I actually get into a rat or something. Anyways. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning lesson, each and every one of them sporting the tired eye. Wait a second. Mutuo stands in the hallway, scratching his head, as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what is going on, I wait silently. So, tell me, how are things? Things? I expected Mutuo to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You've had a week to settle in now, so how are things? Fine, I guess? I see. And how is your condition? I paused before condition. Seemed a little unnecessary. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Mutuo's face. Good. That's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. He asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at a normal school, you have to realize you have limits. Our goal is to make sure that you know what those limits are, and how to maximize your potential within them. Do you follow me? I guess, I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's a start, I guess. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mutuo taps his shin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, we've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week, there's a new scientific discovery. Wait a second. Skip. Emmy heaves a sigh. I guess I have to go back and get some. I promised to help with our class project, though, so I'll be back a bit later. Can you manage without it for a few hours? Rin nods, and so Emmy leaves. I stay because I like watching Rin paint, and because I have nothing better to do. I sit on a box and pick up today's book from my bag. It's a story about 3 guys drinking beer for 2 weeks straight, and doing little else. That depends, like, are they talking about stuff, or, how long is this book? Anyways. Rin moves from the spot that was in need of the... Rin moves from the spot that was in need of the blue, and starts slowly working on another. Her foot works the brush steadily against the plastered wall. Layers of paint on top of layers of paint. The mural slowly gains more form. I turn the pages at a leisurely pace. In this chapter, they are drinking beer at the protagonist's friend's place. In the previous one, it was the protagonist's own apartment. It's not a page-turner kind of book. A slice of someone's imaginary life that makes me wonder why it had to be written. Why indeed? The reason for doing something creative, it's something incomprehensible. Like why Rin does paintings. It feels like she and Emmy are the same, doing squarely against her fates, as if it's just out of spite. Even Rin said something like that. Do something just because you can. Is that what she meant? Is that her reason? It might be Emmy's. She comes off as quite a headstrong person. Rin doesn't give off that kind of air. Thinking about it, she doesn't give off any kind of air. Or maybe a different kind every time I talk with her. Why did she say what she said? Why does she, or anyone at all, paint, or draw, or sculpt, or write? I've never had much of a creative impulse, so I don't think I can really understand it. It makes me feel hollow inside. What a grim thought. I can't really decide whether it's true or not either. Am I content being this way? I can't deny I'm feeling a little bit envious of Rin, but I can't really consider it a flaw of any kind. I'm myself, and she is herself. Still, I do need to find something that could make me feel a little less lost about myself, instead of just drowning myself in these books as I did in the hospital. I can't help but feel disoriented. The new school, lifestyle, and people around me contribute heavily to this sensation. I'm trying my best to fit into the existing social circles, and most of the people I've met have been really nice. It feels like I'm the outsider though, like I don't belong. I shake the feeling off and realizing that I'm spacing out. I've neither turned a page of the book nor done anything for Rin. She's trying to pour some paint from a big can using only her feet, having not bothered to ask me. Or maybe she did, and I didn't hear it. Either way, it looks very unstable. I quickly jump to help her, as it looks like she's about to spill the entire contents of the can all over the pavement. I take the can from her feet and pour some in the bowl. She doesn't say anything, and neither do I. I catch a glimpse of her eyes, looking silently at me from under her unkempt bangs. It's an unreadable expression, a perfect poker face, mixed with a hint of something like mild surprise. I wonder what she is thinking. Maybe she's wondering what I'm thinking. Maybe nothing. Penny for your thoughts? Do you have any pennies with you? I don't think so. Then I don't think I will tell. I'm not thinking anything either, so you're in luck. Except now. I just did. She frowns, looking very unsatisfied. It's hard to not think about anything, but it's important. I'm about to ask why it's important when some old guy walks up to us, looking like he has some business with Ren. Oh boy. Yep, he's here. Yep. I don't know. Should I try to do a creepy voice? Good afternoon. How's it going? I can make it. Rin doesn't seem to take her eyes off the wall, and responds so naturally that I can only assume that they know each other. I haven't seen the man before, so I naturally wonder who he might be. Maybe a teacher? His hair has faded into a silvery gray, so much that it looks artificially dyed. I hope that's not the case. Small round glasses hang on the bridge of his nose, but it appears he's constantly looking over the lenses rather than through them. He's studying the mural intently over said glasses. Good. What bold composition you have here. He moves to inspect the mural closer, talking to himself about it in a way that makes it obvious he wants us to hear it too. Very good indeed. I don't really know what to make of it, but Rin doesn't seem to care much. She's looking around her working space, the various bowls of different tones scattered all over. Hey, Al? A little more of this? Give me a second. I pour a 50-50 mix of two paints into the bowl to create more of the same pale pink tone Rin was using to fill up the shape of a man's face. Rin watches me doing so, which makes me feel nervous somehow. Her face is so unassuming that it feels she's just waiting for me to do something wrong. The man turns to reckon me as well, looking surprised as if he noticed my presence only just now. Maybe he did?
Why, hello there. Who might you be?
I'm a transfer student to class 3-3. Hizao Nakai. It's nice to meet you.
Mutual class, eh? Well, I won't hold that against you.
He laughs very loudly. Obnoxiously loudly. A few small birds take flight from a nearby tree. I'm Shinichi Nomiya, the art teacher. So this is the art teacher. In retrospect, I should have guessed that much. He even looks like one as far as first impressions go.
How did you come to end up assisting my protege?
I wish I knew. Okay. Save. Okay. I think I was wrong earlier about getting kicked out of Rin's route, but... You know... Actually, yeah, look, I'm interested in art club. I guess I'm a little interested in the art club. I blurted out, partially inadvertently.
What do you mean?
Nothing specific. I wonder if I could come by sometime, even if it's just to observe or something. I've been thinking that I should join some club or something, so... It's in no way a premeditated move, but a vague sense of determination has been building inside of me for this past week. I want to do something. I want to belong somewhere. It might as well be the art club, my shortcomings notwithstanding. The teacher seems pleased.
Oh, you want to join? Well, we always welcome new people, of course. Club meetings are normal, though.
We study various aspects of the fine arts and try to get our hands at them as well. Try our hands at them as well. Or feet. He gives an embarrassed cough, but Rin doesn't seem to mind. I take a small amount of comfort from the fact that I'm not the only one with vocabulary deficiencies in this school. Nomiya rebounds from his faux pas by theatrically checking the time from his huge gleaming pocket watch, and slaps his forehead even more theatrically.
I really must take my leave now, but if you have questions, I'm sure Tezuka can clarify.
Somehow mentioning clarify and Rin in the same sentence doesn't feel right. However, I don't say as much to the teacher, since he seems to be in a hurry.
Tezuka, I'm pleased to see that this little project is doing so well.
I just stopped by to remind you to not run off by yourself tomorrow. I've invited certain people to the festival for you, and I'm sure they'd like to meet you as well.
Oh boy. I hope I'll see you on Monday then, Nakai.
The teacher leaves and we are left by ourselves again. Rin is still painting as if nothing notable happened. Since nothing in fact did, I am left wondering what on earth is wrong with me. What is wrong with me? God damn it! Art and I haven't worked well together in the past. At least judging from the grades I used to have in middle school. Yeah, like, I'm kind of the opposite. Because, you know, not to brag or anything, but I think I was in elementary school, and I got an award for, like, painting a watermelon. And that's the only, like, thing I got from art class, because, like, honestly, I have no interest in, like, painting or actually drawing anything. I want to be more of a writer. But, like, for some reason, I got an award for painting a fucking watermelon in art class. I'm guessing all the other kids just didn't try because, you know, I want to make my mommy proud or some shit. So, yeah. Yeah, like I don't really have that much an interest in, you know, paintings and drawings and stuff, but, like, I am interested in becoming a writer. Yeah. Although professional writers will probably look at what I've written and be like, this is garbage, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. Anyways, Art and I haven't worked well together in the past. At least judging from the grades I used to have in middle school. Maybe a club will be different than an obligatory class. Who knows? I try to come up with something meaningful to ask about it, but to no avail. I'll just go to a club meeting and see how it goes. So he invited some people tomorrow just to check out your painting? He has a lot of art people friends. They like to talk about art. I think he wants me to talk about art with them. Somehow I get the feeling that you aren't too thrilled about it. Rin shrugs non-committally, but it still gives an impression of her general displeasure at the idea of having to discuss her painting, or any painting, with other people. I don't really like talking about art. It is really already a way to talk without talking, so why bother talking about it? I can understand that. It's like being bored and talking about being bored because you are bored. I'm not following you. Have you ever talked about being bored? It's pointless and not very exciting. All you can say about it is, I'm so bored. I once spent a week trying to think of something meaningful to say about boredness. It was the most boring week I've ever had. But that's pretty fitting, don't you think? Rin gives me a look. I have not seen that word before. The laconic kind that seems like it doesn't mean anything, but it does. Anyway, I don't know. I guess I can just rarely come up with anything to say about art. I mean, like this one you're doing now. I have no idea what to think about it, except that it looks nice. What is this painting about? It's not about anything at all. That's what I'd like to say, so I did. But that was a small lie. I said it anyway because I would kind of like it to be true. The teacher wanted me to do this, but I didn't have any ideas. I tried to have some, but nothing happened. So now this is a painting without any ideas. But what are you painting then? No idea. Come to think of it, I think I'll call this no idea. I started thinking again. This is bad. Huh? She shakes her head vigorously for a while, trying to shake the thinking out of her head. That amber red hair flies wildly around. This is why I had Emmy helps me. She makes it easy to not think about anything. You know how she just talks about nothing for hours? It's like her head is made of bubblegum foam bath jelly. You are kind of the same, but not really. It's very helpful if you stay here. I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not. It's probably neither, with Rin being the overtly neutral person she is. So is there anything specific you'd like me to do to make you not think? Just to be... Without knowing what I should do, I just sit on an empty box and watch her continue with the painting, idly leafing through the pages of the beer-drinking book. Rin has a serene expression on her face, her dark green eyes hiding what she might think behind them. No, wait. She's supposedly not thinking anything, right? She quietly hums at the tune, interrupting it every now and then with polite requests for more paint or another kind of brush. Her concentration is admirable, even though she seems to be sleep-deprived and under pressure to finish the job. Inch by inch, the painting gains more form. Details being added on top of details, colors intertwining with each other, filling the empty spaces, growing on top of each other. I find myself thinking about inspiration and motivation to create art again. Where does one get ideas? They don't come out of nowhere. And I don't think there are muses that magically inject some inspiration into your head. Ideas have an origin and a purpose. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that Rin is lying about her mural, or at least twisting the truth. Maybe she doesn't even realize it herself. You can't do anything creative without having an idea of what you are going to create. That would go against the definition. Every stroke must be decided to be drawn. Even if it's made at random, then that too is a conscious decision. So our painting, even this one, must be based on having some deliberate goal or idea of what to paint. If Rin's idea is to have no idea, as she said, does that count as having an idea? A logical paradox. That seems to be Rin's modus operandi for most normal interactions, so it wouldn't surprise me if she hadn't noticed this herself. I wonder if I should bring it up, but I'm not sure I want to engage in an argument about logic with this girl. One of us would probably end up short-circuiting fairly quickly, so I discard the thought. Rin is squirming and shuffling restlessly. Even her blah, 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 blah. Even her usual blank visage breaks occasionally into pretty difficult-looking expressions, the kind that one doesn't just come up with accidentally. Everything all right? Yes. No. My back started hurting again. This painting is too big after all. It's hard to paint in this position. Want to take a break? After I finish this part. Of course, she doesn't take a break, and I don't bring it up again because that would be completely and utterly pointless. Rin continues her work and I stay with her. I like to watch her paint. I'm going to be a member of the same club she's in now. Wait, I mean, I thought you were just going to be, like, looking at the... whatever. York Club. Actually, yeah, he also went, like, well, I want to be more, like, part of the school, so yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Honestly. In all honesty, one thing I quote-unquote regret about high school, even though, you know, like, I don't really regret it, but, like, one thing I could have done in high school is that I could have probably tried even more clubs than I already did. Earlier in this playthrough, I mentioned going into student council my first semester of freshman year, and you know, just basically doing nothing in there. But I tried a number of things, and none of them just really worked out. I didn't really connect with any of the people or any of the things we were doing. So like I just kind of left myself to my own devices when you know, COVID came. So so like my freshman and sophomore year, I was like trying some things out, you know, most of it didn't work. Didn't really have that many connections with people, you know. And then halfway into my junior year, that's when we had lockdowns. And my junior, like half my junior year and the entirety of my senior year was basically just sitting in the house, just looking at a computer while we did work at home, and that was very frustrating. And yeah. Anyways, it's good to go into clubs. It's good to, you know, do extracurricular activities because if you don't try them, you're never gonna know what you like. And I wish I could have tried more because, again, I had, even though nothing really clicked with me, like, you know, I never tried, for example, I never went into, again, art, you know, like, especially if I did, right? Let's say I did decide to join the art club for a second, like, let's say I do a trial run of the art club, and I found out, hey, what if I actually liked art, right? Like, what if I liked sculpting, right? I don't have the resources to sculpt, but if I found out I liked sculpting, right? That's something that I could do, right? So, like, I've never tried sculpting, and I don't have the resources to try sculpting right now, right? But like, if I was in high school and I decided to try sculpting, and let's say I liked sculpting, well, that's something to do. So, point is, if you are in school right now, try as much as you can because you're never going to get as many opportunities to do just random shit as you do right now. Anyways, When she declares the mural to be finished, it's already so dark that I have no idea how she can tell. There's no celebration, no general sense of a job well done, just a tired and laconic, "I'm done," and then we both go to sleep. So I'm guessing that we may or may not be on Rin's route. Save. Main menu. Yeah. Okay. No, not gallery. Library. Okay, so... Okay, well, I'm gonna continue where I saved. Yeah, I'm gonna continue where I saved from. A creative paint... Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, basically, I'm going to stop recording and then have another episode right now. So, this is Deen the Autist. Goodbye.